Yo, so Wuthering Waves has dropped a nuclear bomb on us. Huge news update here. So I haven't even taken a look at this fully myself yet. So we're going to be discovering this for the first time together. We have gotten a massive news update from Wuthering Waves, not only in the game, we've seen it on their official Twitter, and they also gave us a link that goes into more details. We're going to be getting Yinlin early. We're going to also be getting patch 1.1 bumped up sooner than expected. We're going to be getting a whole lot going on here, which means that Jian's banner will overlap with Yinlin's banner, and we're going to be getting a lot of other updates and stuff like that too. There is a TLDR here. I don't know where the original source of this comes from. Well, the original source of this is from Kuro Games themselves, but I believe this is probably somebody else's like Twitter or Reddit post, so I'm going to try to find out where this came from and credit them properly in the description if I can. This image was linked to me in my Discord, so I apologize for not knowing the original source, but let's go over this TLDR first, and then we'll go over, you know what I mean, the notice in game, which does let us know, if you just read this first sentence here, that after careful consideration and discussion, we've decided to advance the release of certain events in Wuthering Waves version 1.0, which is a huge indicator that they are not only compensating players for their continued support, but also that they are, trying to compensate people for, the rough launch that they sort of had. Let's go over this TLDR. It increased drop rates from Tacit Field in 1.1, which is huge, and reduced shell costs for echo levels in 1.1. Just those first two alone are massive, dude. Releasing the credits cost of things, increasing the drop rate, this gives us more value for our drops. This gives us more value for our wave plates, if you will. Introducing a wave plate storage system in a future update, meaning you do not need to log in every day. It will occur wave plates past 240. So what this essentially means is, just like in Hoyoverse games like Honkai Star Rail and in Genshin Impact, there will be a overlap. There will be I guess you could say an extra storage of wave plates. So if you go beyond the 240 limit, it won't go to waste. It will have an extra storage that will dump into, and we don't know if there's a cap to that or not yet, so we'll just have to stay tuned. We're going to get a double echo yield event this patch, double rewards 3 times a day. I'm very interested in the finer details of this particular event, because by the time this event goes down, a lot of us will probably be high enough level to be able to get those 5-star echo drops. You can't get those 5-star echo drops until you are databank level 15, and for those that aren't at that level yet, you probably will after this event. 1 million shell credits due to an echo recycle bug, and so some people might not necessarily care about shell credits too much, but just so that you guys are aware, it will take us a long time to be able to get there, but each individual character will cost over 20 million shell credits to be able to fully level up their ability skill tree alone. Obviously, that usually takes us a long time to be able to fill out, but the more credits the better, believe it or not, in this game. We're going to compensate all rovers with crystal solvents times 20. 1 crystal solvent equals 60 wave plates. This is massive, guys. This is massive, because during these events, you might find out that you run out of wave plates, but you might want to do, certain things. Now, obviously, some of these events are time-gated, or not time-gated, but they're limited. So some of these crystal solvents are not necessarily going to get burned during these events, but it just goes to show that we're going to have a whole lot of, let's say you're trying to farm out a new character and you want to play them day 1. Well, hey, guess what? This really helps you with your farm if you are so inclined to do that. We're also going to be getting 5 Forging Tides, limited weapon banner pulls. So yes, the Forging Tides are literally directly used on the weapon banner. Each singular Forging Tide is 1 pull on the weapon banner. For the Verdant Summer translation error, not much, but it's something, I guess. The Verdant Summer translation error only occurred on the JP server, but globally, we're going to be getting these 5 Forging Tides. So I'm sorry for the Japanese server players, if you are watching this, that sucks that ended up happening for you guys, but thank you for taking the hit. Thank you for taking one for the team. You're helping literally the entire global servers. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for being so adamant about them and holding them accountable, because if you guys didn't hold them accountable, we wouldn't be getting this. So please leave your comments down below of any issues that you guys have had with this game. If it's substantial enough and if we voice ourselves enough, these guys do care and they will compensate us for these things, especially in the early goings of things. I've been meaning to make a video going over some of the problems that the game has had to see if we can see some improvements upon some of the already existing systems, etc., etc. So do keep that in mind, and please leave your comments down below if you have experienced anything, so that maybe I can include that into the video, because there might be something I might overlook. Anyways, new event coming this patch: Asteroids times 800, Morphable Elite Class Echo 1, plus Morphable Elite Class Echo 2, plus Premium Tuner, plus Premium Sealed Tube. Yo, let's go over that again. New event coming this patch. We're gonna get a ton of. We're gonna get 800 Asteroid. Thank you, girl. And we're also going to be getting Morphable Elite Class Echoes. What? Dude. This is actually so good, because the Echo system is arguably the most important system in the entire game, dude. This is actually some pretty sweet news. This is actually some huge news, dude. Plus these tuners, so this is basically just yet more Echo events coming our way. June 6th, 2024 at 10 UTC plus 8. This release will include the companion story Solitary Path for the Resonator Yinlin, which is the character Yinlin, the featured Resonator Convene event When Thunder Pours, or Yinlin, the limited time challenge event Alloy Smelt, along with many more spin-off events and features. So basically, we're going to be getting the Yinlin banner early, and as a result of this, from what I've heard, if you pay attention and you see, we'll get into this in just a moment here. Actually, let's keep moving here. Wuthering Waves version 1.0 will last until June 28, 2024 at 0559 UTC plus 8. This is what I was getting at. After which we will schedule a server downtime and implement the update for Wuthering Waves version 1.1, Thaw of Eons. This is essentially a maintenance. So it's very common for when a patch drops, the old patch ends, and then they go into a maintenance mode for several hours, and then they release the patch afterwards, which will include a new area, Mount Firmament, new Resonators Genshin and Changli, and new boss, which is a spoiler, so we're not going to include that, added as it is kind of major. So this is pretty sweet, dude. This means that Wuthering Waves is bumping up their new patch. So that's pretty huge. So 1.0 will end on June 28th. As far as I know, that's not the original scheduled end date. This means that Wuthering Waves has bumped up their patch. So they're going to layer over Jian, and they're going to layer over Yinlin, and they're going to speed up the process. A lot of people have been suspecting, as a result of this, that they're probably doing this in order to be able to compete with Zenless Zone 0, which releases, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe Zenless Zone 0 releases on July 6th. July 6th is when I believe it ends. So, or when I believe it starts. This will pretty heavily line up with Zenless Zone 0. It's not going to be an exact lineup, but it does show that that's at least the suspicion as of this time, is they're directly trying to compete with Hoyoverse at this point, and are willing to bump things up to compete with them a little bit. Now, that's obviously just speculation. That could be, people just talking out of their ass. But I do feel like there is something potentially to that. Otherwise, why else would they bump this up? Because my thought process was they're just going to end up bumping up Yinlin right here on June 6th, and they'll just extend her banner. Like, keep the banner the normal amount. Keep the patch the same amount, but just give us Yinlin a little bit early, giving players more time to be able to play Yinlin. That's what I thought they were doing, but it seems like they might also be kind of trying to compete with Zenless Zone 0. To compensate for any inconvenience caused by this version timing adjustment, we will issue compensation to all rovers, Radiant Tide times 10. This is the premium banner pulls times 10, which is obviously something that we are very happy to hear about. Alongside all this, they addressed many bugs and are looking to add controller support for mobile players. People have been talking to me about this in my comments. that they want controller support for mobile to make it easier to play the game, because mobile, this is a combat very heavily oriented game, and mobile players have been like not suffering necessarily, but they have been sort of like unintentionally nerfed because it is harder to play on mobile than it is on PC or controller. This game's actually like a very, very combat oriented game, so players like myself who love being able to play on keyboard or controller, bro, I used to be amateur pro in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Do you have any idea how happy I am to know that this game can work on controller? I'm actually so down for that. I haven't been playing on controller because my controller broke, but I just got mine in the mail today so that I can play Elden Ring when that DLC drops. You best bet your ass I'm going to be switching to controller, or at least trying controller out in this game to see if animation cancels and some of the higher end tech in this game are easier on controller. I haven't really been having an issue with it on PC, to be honest with you, but it might be fun to try it out. And anyways, they are also adding limits to the cooking system. Wait, they are also adding limits to cooking items. Oh, so I don't know. Some of the by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but some of the cooking in the game is super duper broken. Some of the cooking in the game is like, some of the buffs you can get are super duper broken. So they might be trying to balance the cooking system. I could be interpreting that wrong, but that's just, I don't know, maybe I'm interpreting that wrong. So let's go over some of this stuff here. We may have already heard about some of this stuff, so let's just go ahead and see this really quick. After careful consideration and discussion, we have decided to advance the release of certain events in Wuthering Waves version 1.0. Yeah, we already know about that. We also are getting the patch early. We just read that. So this stuff right here might be a little bit redundant, so I'm just going to scroll through this pretty quickly just to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Wait, let's see this. Okay, Second Coming of Solaris, time-limited collection event adjustment. New event duration June 13th to June 27th. Event reward has been adjusted to 420 asterite, and the event duration has been extended by 2 days. So that doesn't seem like it was in the TLDR. Let's just read this again. Alloy Smelt limited battle event adjustment. 460 asterite extended by 2 days. And I believe this event was part of what we just read. So they're giving us more rewards, it looks like, in some of these events. It looks like character trial event, ascendant adjust. So that's just the character trial. So let's move on. Cord cleansing, echo material double drop event. We heard about that. The Pioneer podcast event has been adjusted as well. Due to the shortened event duration, we will issue 10,000 podcast experience along with other compensations at 10 UTC plus 8 June 3rd. That also wasn't in the TLDR. That's actually pretty huge. So a lot of players probably would have been complaining about that if they shortened the battle pass. And if they shorten the battle pass, that gives people less of the battle pass experience, right? So that's a really, really good thing. So they're basically going to like give us some of the battle pass for free. You're just not going to have to bother with some of it. You're just going to get 10,000 experience for free, which is huge. Special bundles, available time adjustment. The availability time for Sage's experience support and Blake's Bloom's aid bundles has been changed to May 23rd, 2024 through June 26, 2024 server time. An additional event introducing Wuthering Exploration Time limited exploration event. This is from June 13th to the 27th. So they're showing you and letting us know what adjustments are being made, because all of these events were pre-planned, but now because of this change of when the patches are going to be dropping and when the event banners will be dropping, this also changes the limited time events that will be occurring as well. So they're just letting us know when those events are occurring now, because not all of them are occurring at the same times on the same days. So event rules: complete daily survey tasks to earn survey points. Achieved the required number of survey points to claim rewards. So this is kind of like I don't know if this will be in the game survey or this will be a third-party survey, but this will give us event rewards of asteroids 800 plus morphable elite class. So this we did learn about. They're just letting us know what day this is occurring. So I think because of that, we can probably skip out on their official announcement letting us know that a lot of this is due to optimization issues, and they are working to improve upon things, etc., etc. We've heard this song and dance before from them, but they did give us a bit more information in this particular link here that they sent to us. Okay, so I'm just going to interrupt myself right here because the original take for this video actually took me like 30 7 minutes to cover all of the news that just dropped to us, and I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to me yap for almost an hour going over all of this stuff. So I'm gonna link this to you. Most of what you want to know was covered in that TLDR. Most of what you want to know was already covered in the video. However, there might be some finer details you guys might want to know about. And so I will link this information to you here. This comes directly from Wuthering Waves themselves, so go take a look at it for yourself if you're interested in that. And if this video was helpful or informative to you in any way, shape, or form, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.